What's up guys, Wale here, welcome back to the channel. So you guys remember a couple of months ago, I made a video about switching careers to data science, specifically as a data analyst. And in that video, I talked about my story of how I transitioned from being an engineer to being a data analyst. And ever since then, I've sort of wondered retrospectively if there were steps that I took that really helped make that change possible. It is no surprise that majority of people who desire to switch careers end up not achieving their goals. And as scary as that may sound, it's generally so because they failed to overcome three key challenges. The first is the lack of self-confidence. The second is the fear of uncertainty. The third is the lack of direction. So you might wonder, how do you know if you are falling to one of these challenges? How do you know when you don't have self-confidence, when you develop the fear of uncertainty, or when you do not have a sense of direction? Most importantly, how can you overcome them? In this video, I'm going to try to highlight what worked for me and how you can apply these to your own life. Step 1, don't do it alone. Get a mentor to talk things over with. When we're faced with the prospect of switching careers, our instinct is that we try to do it all alone. We decide we want to change, we do a bit of research, and then we make a decision without speaking to anyone. After all, we're making the decision for ourselves, and who is in a better position to know what is best for us other than ourselves? The problem with this approach is that it limits you from benefiting from other people's experiences. Could it be that a career switch is not what you really need at the moment? Perhaps you just need to refocus on your current path, or maybe you need to get the timing right. Whatever the reason, it takes speaking to someone who has your best interests at heart to be able to objectively assess your situation, to help you truly find the real reason why you want a career change. Your mentor could be a trusted friend, someone who works in the space you are looking to switch into, or a family member. For me, I remember before I took the decision to transition, I spoke to my brother about what he thought of me leaving engineering behind and moving into a new industry. We went on to outline the pros and the cons, as well as the opportunity and the risk of remaining as an engineer, and how the timing was right for me to transition into something else. And based off that, I was able to make an objective call, which has led me to where I am today. So if you're struggling with your decision and you don't know if switching career path feels right to you, then start by speaking to a mentor about your decision. Be clear about your real reason why you want a switch and why you feel it's such an important decision for you. Also, be open-minded and be unafraid to hear uncomfortable truths about the decision you are about to make. Step 2, take a ton of courses. As you're preparing to move into a new field, a field where you have little to no knowledge about, it becomes really important that you act like a sponge, soaking in all the knowledge you can lay your hands on. You've probably heard of the 10,000 hour rule, that in order to gain mastery of any complex skill, it will take approximately 10,000 hours of intense practice. Luckily, to become a data analyst requires neither intense practice nor 10,000 hours to master. However, the idea here is that for you to be remotely good enough, you have to put in an incredible amount of effort. So keep taking those courses until the learning sticks. Don't just take one course and stop. Take multiple variations of the same course. Watch another YouTube video on the same topic. Use the variety of courses to better understand the concepts as well as areas where you find it difficult to grasp. Another technique you can use to keep learning is to identify one area in your previous course where you love to explore deeper. Make sure it's not generic like I want to learn more about Python. Instead, try to be as specific as possible. For example, I want to learn how to web scrape using Python's beautiful soup. That way, you'll be able to keep things tight and interesting. Step 3, job shadow, start doing freelance projects on the side. When people hear of freelancing, they immediately think it means to go register on Upwork.com or freelance.com to start making money. The idea of freelancing in the context of switching careers is to get you to put what you are learning into practice such that you can build competency faster. Freelancing is you taking your newfound skill and working for free, 100%. And because you're working for free, there's almost no pressure. You can fail easily without feeling ashamed or feeling embarrassed. I recall working for a primary school as a data analyst. Of course, it wasn't called a data analyst role, but the job function I offered to perform aligned with what a data analyst would do. The school had a pricing problem. They figured they had priced their products lower compared to what other neighboring schools charged. They could easily raise their prices to match what other schools charged, but they wanted to make that decision backed by data. They wanted to know by how much should they increase their pricing by, how many parents will be able to pay, and if the school will still be able to meet its financial obligations. I did the analysis, presented it, and the school was able to increase its pricing by 25% without any major losses to its student population. I was able to take as much time as I needed to complete my analysis. I was under no pressure to deliver, and I had enough autonomy on my methodology because I was working for free. So in a world where you need job experience to get a job, this is your escape to getting experience. Try freelancing with your uncle that owns a grocery store, or your brother that runs a small consultancy firm, or your friend that owns a beauty parlor. Offer to use your expertise to help and then gain confidence and competency from there. Step 4, join an active community. Joining an active community, a community of like-minded people, can serve as the perfect antidote to feeling lost and lonely on your journey. From getting information about latest trends to getting notified of job openings, being in a community allows you to measure yourself against obtainable standards, foster healthy competition, and receive useful feedback. There are data science forums on Discord where you can join. There are also data science pages to follow on Kaggle and GitHub. Be mindful not to spend all of your time on these forums as against doing the actual learning. In fact, what I encourage you to do is to stand out amidst the noise. So post some of the projects you're working on and use that to get feedback to improve yourself. Step 5, get certified. This is very much optional, but it's certainly nice to have. This is where you now start targeting certain certifications that aligns to your goal. At this point, you have found a sense of direction and you fully understand where you want your career headed. You now have enough inside information about the industry and you know what courses and certifications to add to your repertoire. For example, if you want to be a machine learning engineer, a data scientist, or a data analyst, you can now start targeting certain certificates from reputable brands to validate your skill set and knowledge. So as you go through each step, I want you to pay attention to how they address your challenges. For me, step 1 and 2 was able to address my lack of self-confidence. I became someone who genuinely knew how to use the tools for the job. Step 3 was able to address my fear of uncertainty, of whether I was going to get a job after all these learnings. Step 4 and 5 addressed finding my direction because I now knew what areas to specialize in and how to get there. So that's how I did it. Hopefully you don't have to go through all of these steps before you get a job. Remember, it doesn't always have to be a data analyst job you start your career with. If you want to know how I landed my first job and tips on how to land your first data analyst job, then check out this video here. So that's it for me today. I hope I've left you with something valuable. As always, do give this video a like and subscribe if you like content like this. Quick announcement before I go. I will be starting a mentorship campaign for the next 30 days. What this means is you will be able to set up a call with me for free using the link in the description below. Yes, absolutely free of charge. And of course, there will be limited slots available. So this is for you if you need someone to talk to about transitioning to data science, specifically as a data analyst. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.